Hey guys, for today's video I wanted to talk to you about what to do when you encounter mean or rude people. So a lot of us may have the bad habit of taking it personally when we encounter someone who's mean or rude. But what you have to realize is that it has nothing to do with you. You could be incredibly polite and still end up making somebody who's mean get pissed off. It has nothing to do with you. So instead, what you should think about is treating them with compassion and empathy. Now, I know this is definitely harder to do than it sounds, because when somebody's being mean or rude to you, you're not necessarily going to want to treat them with kindness, because you're going to think, one, they may not deserve it, but two, when that kind of energy is thrown at you, you tend to want to mimic it rather than being kind. But what you have to realize is when people are being mean or rude, it tells you something about them and their life. They may not necessarily be a mean or rude person, but they're probably going through some bad times. And since oftentimes not many people know how to deal with their emotions, they're going to end up taking it out on the rest of the world. And you may just happen to be in their way on that day. So when you encounter mean or rude people, know that one, it has nothing to do with you, but two, just think about how it has everything to do with the fact that this person may be hurting. So you can actually make the world a slightly better place by choosing to be compassionate and empathic towards them. You may actually end up helping them because they're just hurting. So if you treat them with kindness, you may be able to get them out of that slump that they're in, at least for a tiny bit. Maybe not permanently, but that's not your job. You don't need to save people. But when you treat mean or rude people with kindness, you're going to inevitably add to the happiness of the world for a tiny moment. And you're going to make them treat you a lot better, most likely. Because like I said, since they're just hurting, when you show them that kindness or compassion, you're going to allow them to let go of that pain for a while. So I hope you see that when you encounter mean or rude people, it has nothing to do with you. And you don't want to mimic that energy back at them either, as that's not going to help them and it's not going to help you. And it's just going to bring both of you down and could even escalate to a point where you don't want it to go. So instead, just recognize that they're hurting and see what you can do to help them. Especially if it's a close friend or a family member or a roommate or somebody that you're around pretty often. If they're throwing a bunch of flame at you and spitting venom at you with their words, then try to understand what's setting them off, rather than thinking that they're just being mean or rude for no reason. There's always a reason behind it, and it's usually pain. So if you can help them work through that pain, then they'll be a lot kinder to you, and hey, you'll have been a bright light in the world for one person on that day, and that's more than enough to make a great day. So anyway, I hope this video helped, and I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful view behind me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.